Hey, family. I am so excited that I am going to be starting my YouTube page. I am going to be making videos. I've already been making content and putting it on my social media pages, my Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, IG. So I am wanting to put myself out there and hopefully y'all will like it. And if you don't, I completely understand. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You understand? So, what I'm going to be doing today is firstly introducing myself a little bit more, and I'm going to be reading my content that I post on my Facebook and my LinkedIn. Every day, I post something educational for people for free. You're welcome. Okay. And I like to make sure that I give people nuggets of things that I have learned about abundance. That is why my screen name on most of my social media has to do with abundance. So, first things first, I am Q. That's what my friends and my family call me. And since y'all are family, y'all can call me the same. And so, what I do, I am a student of finance. I love learning about money and I love sharing about money. As a person who grew up poor, my main goal later in life, now that I am 150 years old, my main goal in life is to teach people how to recover from the poverty mindset the way I have. So, hopefully, that is enough for you today as far as about me. Let's get right into the content. So, here is a post that I made back on June 19th. Okay. This one is about insurance fraud. So, it goes. Did you know insurance fraud is not a victimless crime? The victim is every honest person paying a premium. Of course, when we talk about premiums, I'm specifically talking about life insurance premium. It does apply across the board to all insurances, but because I am a life insurance broker, my insurance content is going to be about life insurance. So, please forgive me that my background is a little bit wonky. It keeps cutting my head off, which is okay because my head is kind of big anyway. So I'm pretty sure some of you who are shocked by the size of my head are okay with it being cut off a little bit. But I digress. Moving on. It's simple, frustrating. It's a frustrating chain reaction. A fraudulent claim gets paid out. And what happens is it increases the insurance carrier's losses. Every time somebody commits insurance fraud, the insurance company loses money. And what do you think is when they lose money? They have to make it up some type of way, right? So to stay able to pay claims, they must adjust their pricing, meaning every time somebody steals from them, the price for everybody else has to go up. It's pretty simple. That adjustment comes in the form of higher premiums for everyone next year. Okay? Putting it simply, a small percentage of dishonest people make it more expensive for every entrepreneur to get the coverage they need to protect their business and their family. It's a hidden tax on your hard work. Now, let's just pause right there. So, hopefully, you can bear with me. But let's think about this. Is it fair for people like you and me who genuinely want to leave a legacy for our families and create generational wealth for our families to have to pay more because some scoundrel, some scallywag that decided to go in and steal from the insurance company? I personally don't think that's fair. If you do, okay, maybe we're not family, maybe from a different bloodline, in which case, feel free to move along. But I digress once again. This is why I am so about working with insurance companies, also known as carriers, who invest heavily in fraud detection and maintain strict underwriting standards. In other words, the companies that I deal with, the companies that I work with, are A rated. They make me every year or two go through anti money laundering training and fraud training and all types of training so I can stay up to date on not only what's happening out there in the world, but also so that they can remind me, if you do this, if you try to commit fraud, oh, not only are you going to clank clank prison, okay, we're going to make you pay $1 million or more. So it's not worth it for any insurance agent to commit fraud. That doesn't mean some of them don't, because I have a video that I want to share with y'all after I finish reading my post about a guy who committed insurance fraud as an insurance agent. And when I tell you, I'm tell you, when I saw this video, I was sick. Okay. Okay. Now, I am not a difficult person. I'm not being difficult when it comes to this fraud stuff. This is all about being a responsible agent, a responsible steward of our collective funds. We're in this together. Just because I'm an insurance agent, that doesn't mean I don't also have insurance policies. I also have insurance policies. Thankfully, my rates are locked in. Hopefully, yours are too. If not, okay. Protecting the integrity of the process means protecting your wallet. Okay. So the question that I asked in this is, when was the last time you considered the financial integrity of a company protecting your family's future? In other words, what I mean by that is, when was the last time you thought about the insurance company that you have your life insurance with? Did you sign up for your insurance policy because you had a cousin or a family member that does insurance and they just basically sold you whatever they wanted to sell you? Or did you sit down and really have a comprehensive, what's the word I'm looking for? Did you really sit down and evaluate? Did you have a comprehensive evaluation of your needs? Even if it's with a family member, they still should be doing that with you. And your agent, especially someone like me who has been doing this for a while, they should not be writing a policy for you if they don't know what your needs are. So, I'm going to go into, how I get annoyed by the agents who just write these policies and then they're off into the sunset with your money. Not your money, but, you know, they're off into the sunset with the insurance company's money. Either way, that is one of the most annoying things to me, because relationship. Once I write a policy for you, I don't even like to call it selling, but once I place you in an insurance policy, we're locked in. Okay. I'm going to be reaching out to you a few times a year. Make sure your needs haven't changed. Make sure, if you have an extra seat at the barbecue or cookout that you want me to sit in there, when your babies, your grandbabies graduate, I want the graduation videos. But that's neither here nor there. This particular post is about fraud. The moral to the story is that fraud costs everybody, not just the insurance company. It also costs everybody else who has insurance companies, even if we have insurance companies. even if I'm with ABC Insurance and you're with XYZ, they're in the industry together. So that means that as a whole, they're going to have to reset the prices because hopefully that is something that, you know, is going to be, it's really going to resonate with you. But I did mention that I had a video that I wanted to share with you. So let me pull that up. And please forgive me, y'all. I am not a content creator. I am a life insurance broker. So that's why my video quality is not too great. You know, my video quality is in the toilet, and my videos, I'm not editing. This is me talking to you and me, family. Okay. I don't do editing and all of that. I might in the future, if I get enough followers and y'all say to me, listen, cousin, you're going to have to do better than that, then I will. But for now, while it's just us and, we're in this little intimate conversation, it's going to be, just us. So let me pull up this video and then I'm going to share it. All right, all right. So hopefully you can see it. I hope you can see it. All right, so here we go.
Nasser Al-Sweety.
That's Al-Sweety walking in with the bald head and blue jumper. It's his first appearance on 23 charges.
Okay, just pausing real quick. I'm not sure why the narrator had to say bald head like that. Um, you don't have to go there. You don't have to say it like that. You know, there he is with the bald head. Like, wait a minute. But I digress.
He's not going to like what he hears.
Not sure they're high enough. These are very serious allegations.
Al-Sweety charges range from misappropriation of insurance funds, fraudulent use of personal ID info, to organized scheme to defraud. His court-appointed lawyer pushed back on the bond increase.
Well, the legal argument is that I don't believe the court has jurisdiction to touch the monetary bond set by the duty judge, who has already determined PC and the applicable bond amount.
In this summary report, it states Al-Sweety is a licensed insurance agent in Palm Beach County. It goes on to say Al-Sweety wrote 11 policies for 7 people. Stick with me on this one. The report says he accepted and deposited over $122,000 worth of premiums paid upfront and in full for each of those policies. Now, here's where the report says he went foul of the law. Al-Sweety got into finance agreements with 2 premium finance companies. They finance life insurance. He allegedly did this without the approval of his clients. Also included in the report, he wrote his clients' names on the paperwork, but put his personal or work address and phone numbers, so his customers were never notified of late payments or cancellations of policies.
Okay, so let's just pause right here so I can make sure everybody understands what this guy did. And remember, I had used the word scoundrels and scallywags before? Yeah, this bald headed man was a scoundrel, allegedly. This is what he was accused of. I'm not here to say he was a scoundrel. But what he was doing was he was collecting people's insurance money up front, keeping the money, and then he somehow, I had never even heard of this, but he somehow financed the insurance agreements, which I'm sorry, I don't even know what that is, which is, I guess, is a good thing because I would never do that. But he basically was taking out a loan because that's what finance means. He took out some type of loan with their money, but he did not let them know that he was using their money for financing. And then with the finance company that he used, he didn't even tell them that this was these people's money. He made it seem like it was his own money and put his own name and phone number and information on the paperwork so that the people who he wrote the policy owners and policy holders, didn't even know any of this. They didn't get any letters, nothing. Once again, I digress.
But that's not all. The report says El Suede's alleged
Oh,
dirty dealings cost Arthur Reyes over $1 million in out-of-pocket expenses to repair his apartment building when Hurricane Ian destroyed it in September 2022. We don't see the judge, but we hear him loud and clear.
As far as my review here at first appearance and the nature and extent of the alleged criminal activity and the scheme that was apparently involving this man, I think 50,000 is fair.
El Suede tried to speak, but instead is getting ushered out of the courtroom. But his attorney did let him know what it was going to cost to get out.
Your bond is,
Probably
I honestly
should.
can't do this math, probably close to $100,000.
I spoke to a representative of the Bureau of Insurance Fraud, and he told me by phone that he truly believes there's a possibility of more victims out there. In Palm Beach County, Todd Wilson, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Nasser Al Sweet.
okay. So he defrauded these. He caused over $1 million in damages for just one person, and he didn't care at all. So this is not even a situation where a customer defrauded the insurance company. This was a licensed agent. Now, I know a lot of people think, especially when you hear people like Dave Ramsey, shout out to him, no shade against him, but I've heard him say things like, oh, well, anybody can go get a life insurance license, it's the easiest test in the world. Um, Not true, okay, because at least here in Ohio, the testing site, the facilitator told me herself that the average person takes the test 5 times before they pass it. So that is not an easy test that anybody can pass, number one. Number two, why would you go through all of this to get licensed just to do that? I would rather just give up my license. Do something else. If you can't get clients in a way that is going to be in line with your license, the legal, ethical way, then do something else. You know, go, they building data centers all over the place. Go get hired at one of those. If you don't want to do that, McDonald's is always hiring. Go flip some burgers, you know, whatever. But this is crazy. So anyway, I say all that to say the point that I'm making, of course, is that insurance fraud. See, I told you I'm not going to be editing. Insurance fraud hurts a lot of people. Think about how many people work for the insurance company that now has to figure out where to come up with the rest of the money to keep paying them. The clientele that this man had, who is now out of all of that money, and they are out here financially naked. They don't even have any insurance anymore. And if they want insurance, it's not as simple as just going to get more insurance, because life insurance is based on your age and your health status. So now when they go to get more life insurance, they're older and they're more at a health risk than they were when they previously got it, which means it could be more expensive if they qualify at all. So that's why I'm annoyed when it comes to life insurance fraud. It's not necessary. It's ridiculous. I do not condone it. I'm not just saying that. I personally do not want to go to prison for any reason. I don't want to go to prison. I don't want the karma of misdeeds coming back to me. All I want to do is help people. That's it. So, y'all tell me what you think. subscribe, all of that good stuff. Hit the like button, all of that stuff that they say on YouTube and everything. And just remember, we are family. Okay? Thank you for listening. I hope you'll listen to me when I make more videos. Bye bye now.